Hello, Wildcat fans, and welcome to the second episode of our podcast, Culture Change, the podcast that takes a deep dive into the Wildcat football team. I'm your host, Sawyer Butina, joined by my co-host, Andy Tash, and today we're going to discuss the 2023 football season.
Our guest today is Brady Perhovic, starting running back for the Cats, and we're joined with also Braden Bronson, middle linebacker for the Cats. First off, I want to touch with this year, we're moving to 5A. A lot of people think it's going to be a big difference. I would argue, it's not going to be that much of a difference from 4A, but I'd like to hear you guys' inputs.
Physical.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that?
We got to prepare more this off season in the weight room.
What about the matchup-wise? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I think speed-wise, pretty equal. Got a pretty fast team. But
Well, I'm saying from last year, what are the teams going to be like that are different from the 4A teams we played last year? Because I would say that some of the teams are faster and stuff, but physically wise, I think the top teams in 4A could compete with all the top teams in 5A, like McKeesport and TJ would also be the same amount of competition level that we have.
Yeah,
in
I don't
5A
see
this year.
anyone faster than McKeesport now. A couple probably.
Yeah,
But we'll definitely
some pretty
have
fast guys over there.
yeah.
we'll definitely have every game's going to be a tough one though this
Yeah,
year rather
okay,
than
yeah.
last year. We won't have any Ringgolds or Laurel
That's a
Highlands.
battle every week.
Dairy. No more dairy.
No more dairy.
Oh yeah, that is a big deal in the Latrobe community.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Shame.
I didn't really want to touch on that early, but thought we had to. But I'd also want to talk about last season. Since the last podcast, we touched on 2 seasons ago, and the importance because last season was another monumental step for Latrobe sports, Latrobe football in general. What do you guys think? We did different off-season wise last year that helped us.
FSQ really helps during the summer, in the off season to help prevent injury and to stay fresh throughout the season. Like how they come on Saturdays after games, that helps.
Yeah, and I think people buy in more. People are still buying into Latrobe football and doing the work in the off season that must be done
Yeah.
in order to improve.
How important do you think it was that we won the Westmoreland 7-on-7 last year? Before, getting the pads on, still working on 7-on-7 stuff.
It's good
To
to
win
compete
that.
in the summer, but doesn't mean anything towards the season. But
My input would be that it's good to start winning early.
Big morale booster.
Yeah.
Big morale booster,
Yeah, it's a
and
good
it's a good role. It's a good momentum to your first game. There's not many, especially since 2 years ago our past game was a little iffy, and we did win the 7-on-7, but our past game was a little something we want to improve on, and I think we definitely showed improvement that next season. So there wasn't many question marks coming into the season.
I think also it's good for a lot of guys to just get experience with the speed, who maybe the year before they played JV or, they're stepping into a new role for us. You get some reps on varsity with their speed and get used to it in the summer so they're more ready when it comes week 1.
I also think it'd be more beneficial this year because I feel like most of those teams we play in the 7-on-7s are the 5A teams that we're going to be playing next year. Like the Franklins, and I know we played them last year in the season, but we're going to West Virginia this year, right?
Yeah.
for 7-on-7.
So that'll be good too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a big man in that?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Marco, is there a big man?
I don't think.
All right.
Sources are saying there's
There
no
is
big
no
man
big
in
man.
West
Big man
Virginia.
too.
But I think that'll be good too, because that's still another place where we can see where we're at.
Yeah.
Different competition.
Yeah, that would be similar to a little jump from just the county. It would be kind of how it is going to be during the season, just a little bit of a step up.
Yeah, and just
Probably
new
for classification.
teams that, especially I know the senior class will have played most of these teams since they're in 5A, but the junior class wouldn't have played these teams because we were 4A the past 2 years.
Yeah. So, going through the season last year, started off the big, dominant win over Derry, as we do every year. Do you think like it's good that we're moving away from playing Derry, or do you think it's good to like play someone that we're so used to that's good for the community, stuff like that? People want to watch that game, or I think it's better for us to be playing like a more challenging team week one, get us more prepared.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts go along with yours. Like, I think it is good to kind of play a team that's like not a crazy matchup the first week, just to get back into it and like get used to the playing. But I mean, I think we've shown that like Derry is just a waste of a week. It's like, last year our starters were out night before the first half, so it's like, are we even improving? Are we even getting better that week?
Yeah, it's just more of a community game, but I'm glad we moved to Connellsville because it's still like a little bit of a rival.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a bummer though that we skipped or we're done playing Derry because it was like been a rivalry for so long. But
Mhm.
I mean, we had to do it. It's like not a big game anymore.
Yeah.
Bronson, what do you think about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind that game, but wasn't giving us the looks we needed to get ready for the rest of the season. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think in the next 10 years it will ever even be close against Derry. So
I don't know. They got some pretty good young guys.
they're like that every year though. They hold all their kids back and they're always like good in midgets, but they're never.
Yeah, I understand.
There's a lot of teams that are like that. I'm kind of surprised that like Latrobe's not like that much. Most like bigger schools hold all their kids back. Kind of surprising Latrobe doesn't really do that.
Looking at the rest of the regular season, what would you guys say is like a defining game for us that we kind of, figured everything out and we were playing our best football?
Best game from past season, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Trinity,
Yeah, I was gonna say Trinity.
defensively,
Yeah, we didn't play well offensively though.
no, but defensively, we
We were
really.
down. I thought that came to my mind. As
I
well.
just think like we just improved so much throughout the season.
Mhm.
Like if we go by like the first couple weeks, like TJ, we
Oh,
lost
yeah.
41-14. If we played TJ in the playoffs or at the end of the season, there's no doubt in my mind that we would beat them.
Yeah.
I think we could have beat them by like a large margin.
And then there's in like contrast to Trinity, how we played really good defensively, but we couldn't really get it going offensively. Connellsville, we put up 50 points, but then our defense
Yeah,
wasn't as
that's-
good as it was other weeks. So
couldn't stop them over the top.
Yes, yeah.
yeah,
This year needs to be.
we need to put those games together.
Yeah, that's what will carry. That was.
And I think since like we're gonna be older this year and more experienced, we won't have that like lagging period where we're not as good the first couple weeks.
Right.
Like we should be old enough where it's like we're starting out as our best football and we're gonna be able to maintain that.
Yeah, I agree with what Andy's saying. Like this year, I almost feel like it's the third year with Coach Brady. Like we're in the system now. Like
Yeah, and we're like all so used to the routine of we come in spring, same
right.
thing every day for
how it should be.
like 8 months of the year.
hmm So after Butler, we finished out the regular season 7-3. We kind of felt like we deserved a home playoff game and a little bit of a better seed. We ended up with the 9 seed, having to go to West Allegheny to play them in the first round, and we won 39-7. I think we just came out hungry that game after being disappointed.
Yeah, that was anger fueled that game.
That was probably the best game in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I would
Oh yeah.
definitely say.
I guess almost that
Both
could
sides
be.
of the ball.
I mean, I know like
Yeah.
Highlands was a good game, but like how what was the was it
Most
PA today or was it the Trib or something
Yeah, today.
predicted us to like
That-
lose?
Yeah, today.
It was
Yeah.
What was it 42-9
It
or
was
42-7?
Yep,
Yeah.
42-7.
And we almost beat them.
They showed that
42-7.
guy.
Yeah, we did show that.
And then Aliquippa, that was a game.
Yeah.
That's
Game to
something
remember.
talk
What a
about.
battle. What a battle.
I mean, honestly, Aliquippa is definitely a team that I see us playing in the playoffs again. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid playing in the playoffs, and I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no one predicted us to win that game. You know, it's almost that we should have won that game, but And it makes you think of
Crazy, yeah.
what if we won that game? Could we have won states?
Where would it?
'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
where would we have been at now?
I think we definitely would have beat Mars.
Yep.
And then
You
a
gotta take
rematch with McKeesport with how close that game was. Until some turnovers put it away for us.
That's a team we definitely could beat.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely beat that Dallas team they played in the championship. They just
Yeah.
look
yeah,
bad.
yeah. I mean, the
I don't
Buckeyes
know
went
how
to
that-
State, but
I kind of want to watch the game of how Dallas beat Bishop McDevitt.
Yeah,
I didn't
because
even know they did beat them.
That's
Yeah.
why
Wow,
Aliquippa
okay.
played them. Because Bishop McDevitt should have been better than they even were last year. 'Cause they
Yeah.
still had their QB and their receivers returning. I
Oh,
don't
is
know
that
about
that
their
kid?
defense.
they're going to Alabama, yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's all right. No, but I mean, honestly, though, I think that Aliquippa game was really important for us because it opened all of our eyes that, like, we can really, like, win states or win WIPULs. Like, because I don't think it was a possibility in a lot of people's minds before, like, that game happened. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if we beat Aliquippa, like, we're winning states.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, and imagine the momentum we would have had
Yeah.
going into Mars, but we got this year, so sorry.
Yeah,
Just do it again.
yeah. I think it gives us some good momentum going into next year, knowing that we can play with any team in the state.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, Brady and Braden. Thanks for watching this episode of Culture Change. And for WCA TTV, I'm Andy Tash.